you a Missouri patient looking for other options besides your local dispensary? Have you considered finding a caregiver but found the process to be confusing and hard to navigate? We understand, and that's why we created Farmers Market, Missouri's freelance marketplace for licensed caregivers to conveniently offer their services to Missouri patients. Sign up today at farmersmarket.com.
Hemp. Our mission is to promote better overall health and wellness as a whole, mind, body, and spirit. Founded by nurses with a strong belief in alternative holistic therapies, always striving to provide the highest quality and safest products possible. You can find all of our products at hariomhemp.com. All Hari Om Hemp products are tested at a third-party facility.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Top Shelf with Big V and Zach. I'm Big V.
I'm Zach.
And this is proper cannabis, sour diesel, diamonds, and sauce. And it tastes, tastes good.
Tastes like diamonds?
That's impressive. I couldn't do an intro through a dab it. There'd be no way. No, that's bad as bone.
We're dabbing the
I'm
whole show
breaking my,
tonight.
my own rules.
Yeah.
Talking with your lungs full.
I like that.
What are y'all medicating with?
Who's got it?
Man. I'm still smoking on that live resin from Kansas City Cannabis. Cannabis.inc. That's who that live resin was for. The pressed, solventless concentrate.
That's what you're hitting on today. How is that?
It's pretty good. It's really smooth.
Yeah. Seems like you'd be real clean.
I've got something that's proper, but I have no idea what it is.
It's cannabis.
It's definitely
It's
cannabis,
proper
but
cannabis.
That's
Could
the
be trail
problem.
mix.
Is when you lose the little, the cardboard. It's just
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I got this. It says proper, and then I got this, and it says proper with all the information.
Right.
Oh, do that again.
Oh, I think you almost
You're
had it.
freaking me out.
Oh my god.
There's a concept.
So ultimately, they're going to get separated, and I won't know what the hell's in there. But that's the only proper cannabis container I have that shape. So the one thing about it is, the bitch I had with proper cannabis before was that it didn't seal well. and they've upgraded their containers now, so I think it'll seal. That's definitely has the right consistency of diamonds and sauce.
Right.
Keeps the terps.
It's only like 77% THC, but it's amazing terpene profiles right now. So right on. Hey everybody, seriously, tag somebody right now. It's not only going to get your name on the wheel of Dank for a really nice souvenir pack of beans here. It's also going to get people, bring people and make them aware of the laws that we're, everything
informed.
we're going to talk about tonight.
Get informed.
Yep.
If you can't tell right now, you all know, most of you, Eric Mcswain here. Me and Eric got a little history together. We started out a couple years ago now, you know, and
There's a minute.
you know, you guys had me on the MCIA thing talking about
Pre-COVID,
caregiving,
just pre-COVID.
caregiving and growing, and we had a good time, and
Yeah.
it just everything's happened, and so we're here now. We've been talking about this, I know, since you and I met the day when there was going to be rec bills presented, and here we are.
Day one.
And yeah,
I'm doing it.
you're doing it, and
Did what I said, and I'm going to say what I'm going to do.
you know what? I commend you, brother. Right after I take this dab.
I've been smoking on some Captain Redbeard lately, LSD. Man,
Nice,
I like it. It works really well outside here in Missouri too.
Oh,
Like it's even better, I think, outside. It's less THC, but oh my gosh, like squeeze a little bit of fresh lemon on a can of gas and take a big whiff. You know?
Nice.
It's something.
A little gassy?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I just harvested a couple weeks ago some Thorsberry, Captain Redbeard,
Yep.
and
Impressed?
yeah,
That's what
I'm
that
very
is.
much so.
Raspberry is a very
Runs.
nice variety.
Yeah.
Very much impressed. Okay, there's a couple of phenos that I am looking through here, and the one I just harvested really resembled the blueberry from DJ Short, which is in the genetics. And the other one coming up, man, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure what it resembles, but it's big, chunky, purple.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice pheno, and that's the one I decided to reverse and take to my Purple Kush. So the purple pheno I took to the Purple Kush, and
Makes sense.
yeah, loving what I'm seeing from Captain Redbeard,
Yeah.
man.
Some
No
amazing
complaints.
genetics.
Yeah,
No
he's
complaints.
really good.
I even got one cherry pie from him, and we'll get off the subject soon. But I was impressed because I put it in. I'm like, I need cherry. This is gonna be
Right,
cool
right.
and stuff. And
Right.
grew it for a patient, and grew me one at the same time. Like, hold up, whoa, like 30% THC.
Wow.
Tastes like maraschino cherries with some turpentine right in the jar.
Oh wow,
You're like,
that's an
whoa.
interesting
I mean,
contrast.
yeah, it was something. That old patient said, please plan all that. Letter to the managers. Please and thank you.
Right on. Well, hey, all right, man. So we've
Yeah.
got some cool
Yeah.
stuff to get into tonight, and we don't want to waste a whole lot of time. We're going to be talking about this rec bills that are coming up. We got a couple different initiatives that have been put in front of the state, and two that I know of that have been approved. Maybe there's more that I don't know about, but two that have been approved to get signatures for.
3 now.
And so we're going to talk. There's 3 now.
Yep.
So we're going to talk to. We're going to talk to Fair Access Missouri, Eric Mcswain, about that as soon as we come back from giving a shout out to our sponsors. So let's do that.
Welcome to Kansas City Cannabis, your hometown, locally owned and operated cannabis dispensary. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through your journey to wellness. Patients first is our guiding mantra, and we'll continue to bring quality, affordable medicine to the patients of Missouri. Kansas City Cannabis Company, inspiring wellness. Now open in Kearney and Blue Springs. Coming soon to Lake Lotawana and Excelsior Springs. For location, hours, and current menu, visit kccannabis.org.
first.
All right.
Here we are. We're back.
We're back.
Back in black.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not going to go into my whole AC/DC riff. What the hell?
Oh, that's our
It's
chat.
comments.
Go ahead and turn off the comments on the banner.
That's awesome.
That's right here.
Nope, click over in the folder. I guess that works.
It
Yeah.
was all
There you
sparkly for a minute.
Yeah, it was pretty neat, wasn't it? So, anyway, we're all good and medicated now. We're ready
Yeah.
to talk about some things. So, yeah, we have what?
Click it again.
There it
you go.
is.
All right, there. Now we're good. So go ahead and bring up the FAM logo up there, Dave. There you go. We
What's
got
that?
Fair
Okay,
Access
Fair
Missouri.
Access Missouri. So, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, that's who's here.
Yeah, it's who's
Eric
here?
Mcswain.
I was going to
Mcswain.
forget.
I thought we established that already.
It was. We didn't have the logo on the first page. is what was up.
Damn, man. So, yeah, so you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to Danny Kennison.
Danny Kennison.
Okay, he left these here for me, so
Oh, nice.
I love them, man. Shout out. So, all right, cool. Anyway, that's all. Yeah, so we have Eric Mcswain here with Fair Access Missouri.
Yep.
All right, so rec bill is inevitable.
It's coming.
So we've got the medical bill, and medical's been brought online, I guess.
Question mark?
And I mean, you know, I'm kind of like, with me, it's kind of like, okay, are we jumping the gun here with the rec bill because the medical program's already so fucked up? You know, that, I mean.
Well, what if you could fix it, the medical program, and bring in adult use? I mean,
Right.
that would work, right?
That would definitely work.
I mean, right now, basically, it's with big reins and
Right,
chokers that,
Yes.
you know, if the industry's a horse, the state is just pulling up hard.
Right.
You know,
Well, but that
they
has-
couldn't have rolled it out more conservatively in many cases.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, in other states that have rolled out a rec program, has it fixed the medical program?
You have to be careful because sometimes it does harm to the
And that
medical
seems
program.
to be the
Sometimes
norm.
it does harm. They'll leave big loopholes
Yeah.
open where they can erode the medical market. We're steering clear of that in this case.
Okay,
Like
so
there's nothing that would make that happen.
Nothing
Now
at
the
all.
state could be creative because they're ultimately the regulators.
right.
So they could be creative and do some wacky stuff, but there's nothing in our language that would make medical worse.
Okay. Okay.
Not
So
even
there
bit.
are a few different changes.
What's fair access about?
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Great question. What's fair access about?
Fair Access Missouri, we were formed under the principles of allowing fair access to medicine by patients in all forms, fair access of cannabis to of-age adults, fair access to the industry by Missouri entrepreneurs, any entrepreneurs, big, small, little, everywhere in between. And I think while we're at it, we can, do some good as well. We can start some programs for our marginalized communities that would help lift people up or improve our infrastructure with some of that tax revenue. Highway,
Right.
internet, sewers, all the good stuff, infrastructure. And why wouldn't we?
Right.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Tell me why wouldn't we?
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me why we would.
Well, yeah, I'm preaching to the
But,
choir at this point.
yeah,
But
let's,
that's why we got together. It's all
I think
about
we got
fair
it.
access.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, fair access for a level playing field.
The entire industry, consumers,
Because
patients,
right now we have an
businesses,
industry, and
not
the
fair
model we
access.
have right now is the rich get to play,
Right.
kind of.
Well, I mean, let's
you have to have
face
a
it.
lot of
Whenever I
money.
wrote my application, I had to write it for a 30,000 square foot cultivation facility.
Right.
That is no punk endeavor. Maybe
Right.
maybe I wasn't fit to manage that. Who knows, right?
Right.
I've never done it before.
Sure.
Okay? I'll just be honest.
But that's a lot
But
of
I
money.
should have had my crack at it, right? And not
Right.
only that, but that's $5 million to get you started for a
Wow.
facility that size.
Yeah.
$5 million bucks. So, you got to go find some friends. Like
Absolutely.
Right.
serious phone a friend action going on.
So-
But if it's fair, if it's open to anybody, then even the normal me, by myself as a sole proprietor, can take my life savings and go start a small
Right. And there's
cultivation operation,
and
a
so
little
there's
craft business.
So there's no minimal that the square footage has to be, but there's a maximum of how many would that be on the? Well, you know what?
The
That's
only
something-
real thing that differentiates a home grower from a commercial grower,
Is the
technically
canopy
speaking,
space.
seed to sale. I
Seed
mean,
to
that's the
sale.
one thing
Okay.
there's a hard
Gotcha.
requirement for, you know, and there's a
Right.
few hard requirements in there, but nothing anybody would
Well,
even
let's-
think to argue about.
We've got some questions, and I kind of want to follow along the line of the questions we have laid out here. So, and I think
Yep,
we'll
get
end
those
up
answered.
answering a lot of the questions that everybody has.
Oh,
What's the
here.
first question, Dave? Oh, Zach's gonna-
Yeah, I got you, Dave. Hold on. Got some.
That's all right. That's all right.
Zach's got to take care of stuff. He's the one that puts all this stuff together. So, anyway, why don't we have background music? That's fine.
That's all right.
First question.
Now
Okay.
we got it.
What
Tax
will be
rate.
the tax rate on recreational cannabis, and where does the money go?
Okay.
We were just kind of talking about that.
Multi-part question. The tax rate will be no higher than it is on alcohol. Okay.
Which is
So the highest alcohol tax in Missouri is 7.5%,
okay.
right? And that's your total tax, not including the regular sales tax,
Okay,
right?
that's all
So
inclusive.
that's all inclusive, and so that's the limit. We use 7.5 because that just happens to be the highest point. A lot of counties are even cheaper than that. Now, 1/3 of that, and this is according to IP 2022-064. fairaccessmo.org. Check it out. It's posted. According to that, 1/3 of the money goes to infrastructure, like I was saying, roads, internet, sewers, public utility, all that good stuff. The other 2/3 goes to an array. Well, it's 1/3, but it goes to an array of more social type programs. So education for reentry, zero or low interest loans for those who need them to start a business, and it doesn't have to be a cannabis business, by the way. To pay for any legal fees associated with expungement,
Okay.
right, the release, any of that sort of stuff. For there's a long list of them. I said reentry education. I was just looking at them a minute ago. There's a whole pile of stuff. Anyway, basically a wide enough variation of social programs that, no matter who you are, for example, and these are designed to get as a grant. We're not asking the state to go create departments to do things.
Right.
We're saying make money available for these things. And so somebody like, if you're a not-for-profit and you want to get prisoners out of jail, right? We know these folks. You could apply for a grant to pay for your legal team to fully focus on that sort of stuff. There are folks doing pro bono work right now, bless them,
Right.
love them.
Yeah.
But now they could actually get paid.
Yeah, and I'll just give a
To
shout
do-
out to our locals, and that's Chris and Christina.
Cannabis,
Yeah,
Canna
mechanic
convicts.
convicts,
Yup,
and
yup,
they
yup.
are
Yup.
they are
Passion.
one- yeah.
Yeah.
Passion, big
They're
passion.
out there.
Mad respect. And so,
Yeah.
but then, let's say that money didn't get used. After 5 years, it can be swept into general revenue. State
Okay,
can do whatever
right.
it wants with it, but that's sort of on a rolling basis,
Sure.
right? So there's always a big pot of money there for people to use. And also on the medical side, we change it so that the department can only take up to 20% of tax revenues to use for their operations.
Okay.
So guaranteed 80% of that tax money goes to the Veterans Commission.
Nice.
Right? Right now, we didn't see anywhere near that percentage this year because they used 80% of the money on legal fees.
Right.
Right? So capping that, knocking that business out, won't need them anyway because there's no license caps.
Okay.
Like, what are you going to fight over?
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
You're not going to litigate over regulation. You're going to lobby for regulation change. You're going to follow different approaches. You won't take legal, so it won't be that expensive.
Right on.
DHSS will keep medical, by the way. Alcohol and tobacco will get adult use. Alcohol and tobacco does this kind of thing. They're out there working with breweries all over the state.
Right.
Right.
Hey, what kind of license does it take to open a brewery? A cheap one, okay? and anybody can do it. You can just walk
Right.
out and do it. So similar approach to that. I don't want to compare alcohol to tobacco in anything except for the economic and government handling
right.
of those things,
Right.
right?
So basically, this will be in the hands of the ATF if you want. To
Yeah, we don't have
it.
firearms in the state. That's
Yeah,
a different
so-
deal. But
right, so
AT,
yeah,
Mo
alcohol,
AT.
tobacco.
Mo AT.
ATT, I think it's Alcohol Tobacco
Okay.
Tax
Okay.
Agency.
ATC.
Okay.
Alcohol, tobacco.
EI.
Tax, yeah,
The,
tax.
one of them,
commission. The commission is the important part.
Oh, we
What?
that was, I think, our alarm.
It
Or
was?
the wrong alarm, but it was an alarm. Or
For what?
We'll
for,
take it.
for a question or giveaway
Or
question.
giveaway? What giveaway?
So scroll up and hit the. Or there it is. Question number 1, Dave.
Okay.
I gotta hit the eye on it, Dave. You're back. You're right.
one?
No, go back down.
All right, giveaway.
Yep, number 1. You gotta hit the eye.
Hit the eye.
Hit the
Here it
eye.
comes.
Punch in the eye, baby.
There we go.
Boom.
Okay.
Pick
I'll
a
pick a
number
number.
between 420 and 710.
And you got that written down already?
Yep, we got it written down. We got
See, I
another
didn't
pick.
know about this. They didn't tell me about this crap.
He was too preoccupied.
Yeah. Details,
I was
man.
preoccupied.
Pick a number between 420
Watching
and
reels.
710. We will announce the winner
damn
at the end of the
reels.
show. As hopefully someone gets it. So, oh wow, look at them numbers coming in.
Somewhere between weed and oil, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, right. Somewhere between that. Yeah.
So, anyways,
Okay, so
What's-
do we have another? Do you feel like you've got?
I think that
Okay,
pretty adequately
right
answers
on.
it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk to another. Let's talk about another. Or do we have something else? To
We have
go to?
another question.
Okay, here we go.
What impact does fair access have on the current medical program?
So I told you a little
Specifically
bit.
cultivation, if
Yes.
you ask me.
Hold me honest. So I already talked about the changed taxes, right? Capping what they can use
Right.
for operations and legal fees. We're expanding the patient-caregiver relationship, so caregivers can now have 10 patients, right?
Are y'all taking notes?
10 patients. That means
10 patients.
You can make a modest living legit. Like you don't need a side hustle to make ends meet or nothing, right?
Nice.
So 10 patients, and you get 25 square foot per patient, and you're a patient too. So
Now is that 10 patients plus you, or 10 patients total, including you?
so that's open to interpretation. I
Okay.
would vote for the more lenient 10 plus 2, me and a co-cultivator even. But we'll wait until see what the regulation
Because
comes
10
out. to be.
patients, man, that'll take a lot of.
And we don't want to be too strict about.
Right,
I mean,
right.
we got to leave some room for interpretation
Sure.
and growth over time or whatever. So
Right.
anyway, well, that's 25 square feet of flowering canopy, right? So 10 patients, that's 250 square feet of flowering canopy.
Now, what
So
about
that's
veg?
a 10 by 25 room, full wall to wall of flowers.
Now, what about veg?
Yeah.
You get another 10 by 25 room
For veg.
for veg. That's wall to
Okay,
wall.
okay.
So if you'd have to put this in a really big building
So you get
to get around and work it.
So you get the 25 square foot for veg and for flower.
you know,
Right.
separately.
Okay.
Separately. And
Yeah.
one good
I don't
reason
hate that.
one good
Yeah.
reason to do that is because it keeps the same thing for the inspectors.
Yeah.
Whether they're inspecting commercial facility or home facility, they whip out the tape measure, zip, zip, zap. You know, you
Canopy space.
now you don't have to worry about the tags on the plants for the patients because if the plant thing's not really a thing anymore.
Right.
Maybe the state will come out with a different regulation. I don't know. I don't know. We don't
Well,
have.
and if you're a pheno hunter,
you
if
can,
you're a
right.
pheno
you
hunter,
can pop a bunch of
You
regs.
can plant 100 seeds.
How would you like to plant a regular seed?
Yeah.
You can't
right.
do it right now unless you only plan on having 3 girls left.
Right.
or,
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yeah.
gonna have
Whatever
to,
your odds
it'll,
end up
it'll,
being.
it'll mess with it if you want all 6 at once.
And I prefer
'Cause
regular.
you can't start 12. Oh no, don't do that.
I prefer the vigor of a regular seed. so-
right.
Well, and not only that, but in that 25 square foot of canopy, you could grow sea green now.
Yes.
You could put 16, 20 plants in there
Yes.
if you wanted to,
Yes.
and grow them about that tall
Cut
with
your
a big
veg
old,
time down.
bud on top.
Yep. Cut your veg
Cut your
time
veg
down.
time down, up the production, and you're going to get, that's basically one light's footprint. One of
Right.
the bigger commercial
Right.
grade lights.
Yes.
That's one footprint for one big light. You're going to get anywhere between 1 and 3 ounces per square foot, right? So you're talking anywhere between £1.5 to 3 pound harvest.
Okay, Bill Lockett here says, I'd like to be able to grow indoors and outdoors at the same time. Now, just off the cuff, I would say that if you wanted to do that, you could register half of your patients grow indoors and half of your patients grow outdoors.
Yeah, there's nothing
in
that
summer,
says
so-
It says it can be in a single lock facility.
Right.
There's nothing preventing it from being in multiple.
Right.
Besides that, I mean, you know, if you're lucky and you want to go to that extent and put the effort into it, you could build a small shop, because that's what it's going to take for that many patients.
Yes.
And then outside the shop, put in your greenhouse or your outdoor area. And as long as it's all conjoined and behind a single lock and key,
Right.
single code, depending on which way you come in, that's a single facility.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's ways to do it. You may have to purpose build.
Yeah.
But
So.
Right.
now, personally, I set up now, and I understand why, because you want to keep parental stock inside during the summer for whenever you go in the winter.
Right.
Totally get that. But there's nothing in our language that says you can't.
Okay.
Right. So we'll have to make sure the government does this right.
And how are we going to do that?
Organizations that get in there and lobby and fight for it. You know what I mean? Your MCIAs. Full disclosure, I'm chairman of MCIA. FAM could stay in effect because FAM can spend all of its money on political action. That's what it is.
Right.
So it can remain a tool after the fact.
Gotcha.
MCIA's got to do 51% education. Right? We can't put all
So
our
then
money into
FAM
government lobbying.
Then FAM could be a vehicle that can hold the state accountable.
You bet.
Right.
You bet. I mean, just
Okay.
because this passes in November, it ain't over.
Right. Right.
Regardless of whether we're on the ballot, we're not on the ballot, we win on the ballot, whatever, it's not over.
Sure.
Regardless of what gets put in, you got to make sure that it's implemented right.
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 Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring up our next question here. How many do we have?
Let me
Yeah,
cover.
hold on.
We did ask about the medical program. There's some other things we love growing.
Okay,
We got
okay.
sidetracked. So let me cover one other thing I really like, and that's the compassionate care program.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This means that your local medical dispensary can create a program with rules governing the program depending on your area, because different areas need different things. The only requirement of the program is that you give away the medicine to patients that meet your qualifications. You got to give it away. You can't sell it. Meanwhile, as a regular patient or regular 21-year-old consumer, you can give your excess into that program.
You can offer that up as
You
a
can offer
donation.
it up as a sacrifice to those in need. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Sure.
Commercial manufacturers, commercial cultivation, dispensaries, anybody can give to these programs.
Okay.
The only real hard rule is that you have to give it to the patients out the other end.
Right.
Now dispensaries can even, if they want to supply their program, they can pay.
Right.
Maybe even a nominal fee
Sure.
to everyday guy with a backpack coming in.
Right,
They're going to take
right.
it and go get it tested, make
Sure.
sure it's safe.
Yeah.
They aren't required to take it from you. So if you get bad tests, maybe they won't in the future.
Right,
Things like that. It's going to have to be done safely. But I like that program. It opens a little bit of a door
Okay.
there, and it allows for, because your responsible companies, medical dispensaries, are going to do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, because there are people who need RSO, and if they had a
Yes.
if they had a penny, that'd be super wonderful.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right.
I
So-
agree 100%.
Yeah, don't even need a penny.
Yeah, I like Enrique
Giveaway.
Babstone's comment. Pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah, man.
that's
Yeah,
one of the
man.
things, with that's with the Patients First program from Kansas City Cannabis Company. That's one of the biggest hurdles, is being able to take the donations and use them to give cannabis to the patients.
Yep.
So, maybe that might help that and help
And
work through that.
The last
something.
piece is the biggest piece, though, and that is that we're lifting the caps on the medical side. We're lifting the caps on the adult use side. Anything cultivated and created and manufactured in either one can be sold crisscross. You have to
Gotcha.
keep 25% of your average sales of medical on hand at any time. You can't just sell it all, rec if it's going real hot or something. You got to keep
Right.
a certain amount back for the patients. But the effect here is that now that you've made it so that anybody with $2,500 can get in the industry, there's going to be a lot of competition. Competition makes for choice.
Right.
And when patients have a choice, they're going to choose what works and who works with them and who works for them and what works for them and all those things. And so that puts the power in the patient's hands. And some businesses just aren't going to succeed. I'm sorry.
Right.
But, 50% of restaurants go fold up.
Right.
67% of all
Right.
food trucks fold up.
Yes.
I mean, This
I
can
know
fold
about
up.
food truck.
You know, any business can fold up. Like,
Zach
you know,
knows
we
about
don't.
food trucks.
Good
Yeah.
businessmen doing it for the right reasons is just going to come. Yeah, cream's going to come on up.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And then here in a couple of years, whenever the feds say, okay, we think it's pretty cool, and they erase these imaginary borders around our state.
Yeah.
We invoke the Commerce Clause, and now Missouri can scale up. Shoom, we got tons of land. We got a lot of resources. We got
Yep.
people to work. We'll scale up, and we'll supply the whole nation. In theory.
Crazy. Yeah.
Or Norway, or I mean, who wants them? You know, come
Right.
get it.
Who knows what the limits are, right?
Right.
Well, you know, when they do it, the feds can't shoot themselves in the foot by over restricting it, because now they've screwed themselves on federal exports,
Absolutely.
which will be a thing. Canada's hurting; they irradiate all their weed. But anyway.
Right.
We'll get
Absolutely.
there. We'll go to
So,
the next one. I think
okay.
that does medical pretty good.
Yes. Go to
I think you covered it pretty well.
What's our next question? What would be required to get a commercial license of any kind if fair access passes?
$2,500 and a promise to follow the rules.
A promise to follow the rules.
You got to check that box. I attest I will follow all regulations laid down if it pleases the crown and all that stuff.
Okay, so you don't have
And
to have
that's
like
it. Just like that.
Check.
$2,500
Write
and
a
a promise
check,
to follow
make
the
a
rules.
check, sign it. You got a license.
You don't
That's
have
it.
to have like a bank account with $100 grand sitting in there or anything like that. You just got to have that $2,500 just for the state.
I'd recommend you have some money.
Oh,
but
yeah,
no,
for
no,
sure,
there's,
for
there's
sure.
no,
You
there's
don't
no
have to.
requirements.
But you don't
know.
have to.
Well, if you just want one, you just go get one.
Right,
You don't even have
okay.
to use it.
Because wasn't that one of the requirements with our medical program was you had to have so much in liquid assets sitting in the bank or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
300, 150.
Yeah,
It
know,
depends on the
somewhere in there.
facility, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I had to have it in my account. Yay, that was fun. Great.
Yep.
But
Just-
I'm not
There's none of
sore.
that?
I'm not bitter.
Right. But there's,
No, not at all.
And look,
why
here's-
would you be?
Here's the deal. Like, people are confused because there's nothing in it for me.
Right.
There's nothing in it for a particular business or a particular popular or a particular segment. It's fair access. Like, I'll have the same shot everybody else has.
Right.
And guess what? Y'all will probably do better because I blew all my money on some stupid application process, and now I've got a bunch of money into this IP. Like, I don't know if we're going to have to team up because
Right.
somebody's going to have to bring the money. It's not me anymore.
I feel you, man.
Y'all
I
are
feel
going
you.
to, I get nothing out of this other
Yeah.
than this point, a little gratification.
I have a feeling there are going to be a few investors coming out of the woodwork. So,
oh yeah.
Sure,
You know,
sure. Well,
so-
there's no residency requirement.
right.
I mean, if you're going to have fair market.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm
what about background checks when it comes to commercial licensing? Is there going to be any of that?
Well, is it
We left that there. That I mean,
basically like alcohol, right?
yeah. I mean, there's
Okay.
got to be some requirements. We didn't
Okay.
have the research necessary to make that change and understand the impact.
Right.
Because that could be a really big issue. You know what I mean? So we left it in. Now, exactly what that entails, you know, it's not so different than like being a school teacher. You know, and if you're getting your stuff expunged, then
Right.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Right.
It's still, as long as there's a black market out there, there's probably a reason for that rule.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
As long as people are bootlegging,
Right.
I mean, that's
There's-
why the
there's
thing
a
for
reason it's
alcohol
there.
is, and that's
Right.
why all the requirements for this and that are.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a protection. Yeah, but it can be debated. Like, I totally respect the opposing viewpoint on that,
Right, right.
that point.
Cool. So I think
We
that
had-
answers that. Do
we
have
did
a-
have, we have an addition kind of that. Will a state agent card still be required to work in the industry? It's kind of a
Oh,
add
yeah.
on to that.
Yeah, we didn't change that either. I don't think we mentioned. I'm not going to say it. I may be wrong. I'm not going to tell you anything tonight that I'm not like 98% sure about
Okay.
off the cuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just keep in mind
So-
right now, I see a couple questions coming up here. We're not talking about federal here.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have the answers to if federal passes about taxes or anything like that. So
and I may be medical.
yeah. So we're not. This is about Missouri
Yeah.
legalization in Missouri, not federally. So we just hope that we can move past
2-second
that. So-
sidebar. Republican Macy, South Carolina, put
Don't-
forward a
don't-
bill.
don't,
Love it. I love it.
Okay.
Are we going to hear more about it?
Yes, we're going to hear
Awesome,
more about that.
awesome, awesome.
As a matter of fact,
Pay
we're going to hear
attention to
about
that.
that right
Pay
now.
attention
and
to
when
that.
we come back, we'll have more talk
Little
with
teaser.
Eric.
Little teaser.
Think of some more questions and post them if you can. Right now, we're going to go to the news.
Welcome to Besame Wellness. Since opening December 23rd off 169 Highway in Smithville, we have opened up 4 more stores in North Kansas City, off Berry Road and I-29, Liberty, Gallatin, and coming soon, Warrensburg. We are your favorite local medical marijuana dispensary, here to educate, help, and engage our local community. We have everything you're looking for, from high-quality flower to edibles, tinctures, and beverages. And if we don't have it, odds are we are getting it very soon. So please, come see our beautiful dispensaries and let our informative, educated staff take care of you. And welcome to the Besame family.
It's time for the Top Shelf Weekly Update with Stewart Wells.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stewart Wells. Welcome to the Top Shelf Weekly Update. Our first story tonight comes to us from our friends from the north out of Canada. A study published in the journal Drug and Alcohol Dependence, researchers said they sought to investigate claims that legalizing cannabis, which took effect in October 2018 in Canada, makes roads less safe, as prohibitionists often argue. But, of course, after analyzing Ontario and Alberta emergency data from April 2015 to December 2019, they could not find any evidence to support that theory. The study's lead author, Russ Callahan, said in a press conference that his team's results showed no evidence that legalization was associated with significant changes in emergency department traffic injury presentations. Russ admitted he was somewhat surprised because he predicted, like some do, that legalization would drive those numbers upward. Callahan also brought up the fact that there is another study out there challenging these assumptions as well. A U.S. congressional research body said in a 2019 report that concerns expressed by lawmakers that cannabis legalization will make roads more dangerous might be totally unfounded. Instead, the experts tasked by the House and the Senate with looking into these issues found that evidence about the ability of cannabis to impair driving is currently inconclusive. Inconclusive? Can we really live our lives by inconclusives? I can't. I won't. Just kidding. Everybody be safe out there. Moving on. Illinois, as of November 1st, has officially exceeded $1 billion with a B, $1,000 million, in case you're wondering, in adult use cannabis this year. This is a major economic milestone since the state launched its retail market just last year. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation reported that there were 123,375,372 in recreational cannabis purchases in October alone, raising the total to a whopping $1.12 billion for the year so far. Adults purchased 2,757,354 cannabis products just last month, with a 60-40 split on sales coming from in-state residents versus those just visiting. October was the 8th month in a row that cannabis sales topped $100 million in the state, and the new figures do not include sales of medical cannabis, which are tracked separately by a different agency. The Illinois Chamber of Commerce president predicted back in May that retailers would sell more than $1 billion worth of cannabis and cannabis items in 2021, and now they have accomplished just that with 2 months left to go. Last year, Illinois took in over $205 million in taxes, and that was from a meager $670 million in sales. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers says he's getting tired of hearing about these sales figures, joking that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker always thanks me for having Wisconsinites cross the border to buy cannabis since the state does not have a legal market. Total burn. I love it. Illinois officials have emphasized that the tax dollars from all of these sales are being put to good use. For example, the state announced in January that it is distributing $31.5 million in grants funded by cannabis tax dollars to communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. The funds are part of the state's Restore, Reinvest, and Renew program, which was established under Illinois' adult use law and requires 25% of tax dollars, cannabis tax dollars, to be put in that fund and used to provide disadvantaged people with services such as legal aid, youth development, community reentry, and financial support. So things seem to be going well up there. Who knows what's in store for us? Anyway, my last story, as you might know, has come to us from the federal government, as several people have tried to ruin this today. Several Republican members of Congress introduced a bill on Monday to federally legalize and tax cannabis as an alternative to pending Democratic-led reform proposals and scaled-down GOP cannabis descheduling legislation. Representative Nancy Mace, thank you, Eric, from South Carolina is sponsoring the bill titled the States Reform Act, along with a handful of initial Republican co-sponsors. It would end federal cannabis prohibition while taking specific steps to ensure that businesses in existing state markets can continue to operate unencumbered by changing federal rules. Unlike more modest measures previously championed by some GOP colleagues, this legislation is an updated draft version, represents an attempt to bridge a partisan divide. It does that by incorporating certain equity provisions, such as expungement for people with nonviolent cannabis convictions, and imposing an excise tax, revenue from which would support community reinvestment, law enforcement, and small business administration activities. Nancy Mace said in a statement that this bill supports veterans, law enforcement, farmers, businesses, those with serious illnesses, and it is good for criminal justice reform. The State Reform Act takes special care to keep Americans and their children safe while ending federal interference with state cannabis laws. Mace also said, "We're getting a lot of great feedback from both sides on this bill. My main goal is to get as much Republican support as I can initially, and we're hearing great feedback from both chambers, both sides of the aisle on this piece of legislation." So basically what you've got here is another proposal. We've heard them from Democrats, we've heard them from the GOP, which was just kind of like a descheduling thing. So we've already, I was adding some of myself in there and I lost my place. This is just one more that might not go anywhere, but there is hope in compromise, and that is what I'm seeing with this bill. So who knows? As we sit here tonight talking about expanding legalization in our state, we could be closer to federal legalization than we think. So that's it. Thanks.
Nope. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Okay, don't forget the what's changed.
Yep.
Something on the set's
Turn
changed.
off the banners again.
All right, dab, yabba dabba doo. Gonna do some more of these diamonds and sauce here from Proper.
All right.
And I like it. It's nice. It's not too heavy.
You know what I really liked was
What?
that rosin, that solventless stuff from KC Cannabis, or wasn't that from
Cannabis Inc.
Cannabis Inc.
Cannabis
yeah.
Inc. I
I
couldn't
just
remember
finished
who.
it off. There's a little bit left that I started the show off with.
Yeah, that was on point.
Hell yeah. It's all about legalization tonight. Tag somebody down here.
That's all we're
Oh,
talking
tagging's
about.
already done.
I don't care. Tag
keep
more
tagging.
people because this is all about legalization, man. It shouldn't be about winning a prize.
Let's
Right.
start from the beginning. Let's start
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's all about getting people here and getting the knowledge in, man. So get some people tagged. Get them here to listen.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh yeah. If you want somebody to start paying attention to the legalization efforts.
Yep. Tag them here.
Hang on,
Get them here, whether they're big
effort.
into cannabis or not.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they see this shit going on. You know they're gonna jump on board, man.
Right.
They'll be like, hell yeah, we want to be like that.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Yes. Be just
Yabba
like
dabba
just
doo.
like us.
Dabba dabba doo. Woo!
I tell you, I don't know what this is, but I know it is proper. It tastes really good.
So it's proper.
So it's proper in the metaphoric and business word.
All right, well, let's jump right back into this. And hey, if we go over a little bit, hang with us, man. There's a lot of.
a lot of good information. That
I'm here till you all are
Thank
done.
you.
Okay.
I'm here
That
till
sounds
you're
good.
done.
All right, so
Sounds like a lock-in.
Uh-oh. Oh, somebody pack
I'll
me
tell you
lunch.
what.
Pack me lunch.
we were talking about licensing and stuff, and one of the things that I really want to talk about, and then I'm going to kind of jump back to some of the expungement stuff, but okay, this new hospitality facility certification, $1,000 for a commercial facility certification to allow the consumption of cannabis, alcoholic beverages, or food on the premises. Okay, so
Protected. So
just like a small brewery, basically.
practically what that means is that you can't produce it on premises, right? There's your barrier.
Okay.
Right. However, you could get a license for a manufacturing facility, food stuff.
Partner with a coffee shop.
Buy out two of the little places, on the square. One shop here, knock a hole in the wall between them, and you can walk out of this, or order it at the window.
Right.
Go get your beer, have your drinks, sit in a nice dining area, and they can bring it out from the other address, different business, and deliver it right to you to your table. Or,
That sounds pretty cool.
KC Transport can pull up
Right.
and be like, got a delivery.
So
And if they transport food, great. If not, maybe, it's your after dinner
Where's
dessert.
my candy
Maybe
bar?
it's a candy bar. Maybe
No, I'm
it's
sorry.
no, for real. No,
Somebody said that they're guessing, and there's so many good guesses coming out, but nobody's getting it. So I'm having a lot of fun. But somebody said there's a candy bar in front of me, and I'm like, what? Where's the candy bar? But I don't
Where's
know.
that at? No, sir.
Anyway, sorry.
Good
No.
guesses. Keep
Let's-
guessing.
Let's try to keep it serious here, folks.
Right,
Trying, what I mean?
right.
Trying got business going on.
that's right. I did like that federal bill you're talking about.
Yeah.
They only have a 3% tax on that.
Yeah. That was pretty
Right,
That's
so
really
that's
low.
really reasonable.
Yeah.
That's really reasonable. I don't think we're going to
Well,
do much better than that.
Right.
When your market
And they leave it
segment
up
is
to the
that
state.
huge, you can afford to give them a little break.
They
Right.
let the states do the social programs. They let the state. There's no federal bureaucracy centered around marijuana enforcement or anything.
Right on.
Let the states roll with it, which is perfect because each state's different. The needs
Yeah,
of all the
absolutely.
states
Even
are
Damien
different.
can't figure
Needs
it
of
out.
all the communities are different.
That's
Anyway.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
Oh, Damien
what else?
stumped on this one.
Oh,
He
Damien.
usually
David,
stopped
the fly on the
guessing
wall.
months ago because
He would get them all.
get it like that. But
Oh.
I
he
did
get
not
this one
change
tonight.
my dab rig.
Nope,
Nope.
there's no dab ribs missing.
Nope,
There's
nothing
no
going on.
buds missing
You're
from the
getting close,
jar.
though.
There's. I am a little more stoned, but that's not it.
That's
And
not it either.
Nothing. Nope.
So, you know what? Don't we have another
Yes,
question for
Nope, the
Eric?
stickers
Yeah, bring up
are
the
all
next
the
question.
same.
So the next question, does Fair Access do anything for prior non-violent cannabis charges?
Yep.
So
Yep.
expungements and stuff like that.
Yep, sure does. It basically expunges all nonviolent. There are some protection for children, so if you were peddling to minors, that sort of thing, that's going to be a much tougher sell, but everything else pretty much cleared. Not only that, but it wipes away similar, any cannabis law that's not covered under this language is wiped away.
Okay.
So anything else in the state is wiped away, and they got to start all over with that. So
Well,
you
right,
can have
right.
influence on everything that comes in.
So reading this right here that I took off your website was any Missouri law that criminalizes the possession, delivery, or distribution of cannabis in an amount less than 2 times the legal limit are declared null and void.
I need to have that changed because the 2 times legal limit is an interpretation. They could go that way, but I can't imagine that they would.
Okay.
There are protections for 2 times the limit and below. That can't be a felony.
Right,
Ever.
right.
Ever. But the actual expungement piece is all nonviolent, marijuana.
No matter the
crimes.
amount they had, if it's non-violent, they're out.
Non-violent, you're good. You're good. Let's start over. Let's reset.
Right on.
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. And let me see, anything else?
So many things.
We did have a number 5.
Probable cause, the smell of cannabis is not a probable cause to detain or search a
Yes.
person,
Yeah.
impound or search a vehicle, enter a residence or other property of a consumer.
Yep.
So-
Yeah, why is everybody always worrying about my CBD, man?
I know, right?
Right.
Shit.
Taking your
Right?
CBD.
Just because you
man.
smell
Right.
a terpene, that's
Right.
all you smell?
Yeah, oh, a terpene? Oh, you
Man,
smell
I
the skunk?
could have been at the health food
A
store.
skunk,
Come
huh?
on.
Okay, well, come on.
Could be a licensed
Right.
patient, so that'll help a lot with harassment.
All right. So do
Yep.
we have another?
Yes, and it
what?
actually kind of goes. We have another question that kind of goes with what we were talking about when it comes to the amounts you're allowed to carry. Why put a possession limit on the bill?
So there's no limit. There's a minimum protection,
Okay.
right? So it's there's no way I can read it where it says you can only have up to here or else you're in trouble.
Right.
That means it can't be a felony
If
up
you
to
have-
this amount.
Right. Okay.
Remember, we're wiping away all cannabis laws. So if we can keep them from putting in new possession limits or some such, then it won't matter
Right.
because the
okay.
laws are gone. They're,
Yeah.
we've been violated, or not violated, but we've
Yes, we have,
removed, we've
Violated
removed
the laws.
all of those laws. So then they have to pass them again, and then advocates,
We'll fight it.
Right.
and-
can get in the mix. But
Yeah.
we got to allow for some sort of flexibility here, right? Because at this point in history, especially, a lot of people are ignorant of this plant. Okay, and they may not protect the kids well enough.
Right.
And I don't know about you, and
I
I'm
think
not
we
even
got
going to
'em stumped,
apologize
man.
for it, but it's not okay to sit at a middle school with a half pound.
No.
It is not okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is not
I agree.
okay.
Okay. I agree with
So
you.
if the state wants to make a law for that thing, I'm probably going to say, you know what, I dig that.
Right.
But if you get rid of all possession limits, period, ever, then they can't even make that law.
Right.
Right, so now you've taken it out, all kinds of local variations, and sure, most of the places around the country, that's not going to be a problem, around the state rather, but there may be places where that's a thing. So no, you can't just pack that around here, right?
Right.
No, if you're, a kid, you can't
Right.
have it here.
Right.
There are places where we might want to restrict that kind of thing, even
But
possession.
up front,
Hopefully it's for a good reason, but we've got to allow for those sort of things to happen.
but up front, all those laws will be wiped
Yeah,
out.
they're gone. They're going to have to make new laws.
Okay, so I'm going to drop a hint here, everybody. Since we've got you guys stumped,
Bird.
It's somewhere
it
around here.
it has to do with one of us.
Yeah.
It has to do with
Yeah,
something
and it's
on
not
our
me,
person.
so
Oh,
there.
okay, so it's
One
not
little
Stewart.
more hint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he changed.
That's it.
Oh.
It's not. It's
Yeah, he wasn't on here before the new
Right, I mean, I'm trying to ever be evolving, I'm always being accepting of new information, so I could have changed,
That's right.
but
That's
not-
right.
Yeah, not physically.
But,
So Ben Pitzer did have a good question. He said, "What could he do to help get this?
Okay.
Or what could people
yeah,
do to
let's
help?
talk
get
about that.
brass
because-
Oh!
Brass tacks. Did we get a winner?
Luke Manson.
Close enough?
Yep. Luke
Yeah, I think
What'd
so.
Luke say?
Black thing on Eric.
Yep,
Yeah. Damn.
Luke got it. There you go.
Yep, we took the little fuzzy off of Eric's mic.
Yep, man, that's the best one we've had so far.
Yeah,
That's super
So-
legit,
yeah.
Luke.
So,
And
Luke,
you know what? While we're talking
Good
about
job.
it, we did have a winner on the number thing too.
Yep, we
Oh,
got a
who's
winner
that?
on
Who's
the
that?
number.
David
So,
Farmer got our number correct. So congratulations.
Nice.
David Farmer.
Got it
Is
first.
that with a PH? Oh, that's okay, too. That's okay.
Farmer.
F-A-R-M.
Yeah, doing business as.
So,
DBA.
David, you've got some Artisan of Dank alien sugar cookies,
Yep.
and Luke,
Luke, you're the
you've
man.
got some Captain Redbeard. What's up there?
I think those ones, I don't know, because these were from
Those
the
are
last
from
one.
last.
Yeah. So
we got some Captain Red.
Only
We got
because-
some red
yeah,
beans for
I'm
you.
not sure what they're
Feminize
gonna be.
something,
They're gonna be
whatever
good
it is,
ones.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, so
but if those are going to somebody else, I don't want to get them mixed up. and
right,
cause a
yeah, we
problem.
don't want.
So.
So back to it. What can
Okay.
people do to get into help
Brass
this out?
tacks. All right, so here's the deal. It takes quite a bit of money to do this IP thing.
Right.
Right.
The good news is that you don't have to deal with a bunch of nervous Nellies in Jefferson City, right? They don't want to pass anything in case grandma or somebody gets mad. No, okay, forget those guys. They're conservative. Overall, generally speaking, even if they say they're not, and they're afraid to do this stuff. The ones that are telling us, like, go, 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 because it ain't going to get done in Jeff City. For those who are working to get it done through legislation, and there are those out there, great, super, I hope you succeed. In the meantime, we got to do it. And to get an IP pass, it's going to cost about $3 million. Now, 3 million, big number, right? It has been hard for us to find individuals to come underwrite this situation. And I tell you why. It's because, like I said earlier, I think there's nothing in it for me. There's nothing in it for that person. There's nothing in it for Mr. Deep Pockets. You know, they're inviting competition. I mean, I understand why these other bills are happening and why, you know, your current facility owners are going for those bills. They're supporting it to protect their own interest. I mean, I can't fault them for that. Now, from my viewpoint, I definitely have harsh criticisms because I want it to be about the patients. You know, I want fair market just like we have with everything else, but we need to get the money. We still need to get the money to make this happen. We got to verify signatures. We need a campaign manager to come in here and make sure that everything's locked in, get it done. So one of the potential options is crowdsourcing, right? That's the thing. We've got a website, fairaccessmo.org. Go on there now, give $5. If a whole bunch of people give $5, we'll be like, okay, now we just need to get out the word more. But we need to know that sort of thing can happen because it's not been done before.
Right.
But
This is a grassroots
I think
deal.
if any grassroots community is going to do it, it's going to be this one.
Gotcha.
Period, hands down. So that's what you can do first and foremost. We're going to need signature gathers. We're going to need a lot of these other things. But first thing to do is to go vote with your wallet. Let us know that we need to keep doing this because without, you know, Goldman Sachs to come in and save us, you know, and buy the whole thing, it's hard. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it for business people, and they're the ones with the money, right? Now, I think they're short-sighted because Mr. Businessman has an appeal to you. When this legalization thing happens, right, and it's not if, it's when, and Missouri has unlimited licenses, you could blow up 15 licenses and supply the whole United States from here because those imaginary lines around the state are going away.
Yeah.
You know, so now you're a national company through and through. Biomass comes from here, goes to the manufacturer, off it goes, right? Fine flowers can come out of here, that's fine. But boy, those, you know, carts, those, you know, all of your extracts, all of those things can come from here in mass. And
So how much time
in that
do we
sort of
have?
quantity?
Ben Pitzer, I believe, asked, how much time do we actually have for this? How much?
Look, so
to
you
get
need to send us a signal soon, like within the next week, right? Talk to your family, talk to your friends, get enough of them to give us $5. That's going to send us a signal with how many people are watching this, how many people are paying attention, and off they go. Minimum $5. Look, if all of our patients in the state of Missouri, 100 and I lost count, a lot of them.
It's like 180-something thousand.
What? Wait,
or something
what?
like
You mean
that.
more than we're supposed to have after 3 years? Anyway, sidebar. So 180,000 times $30 is how much?
A lot.
That's plenty. That's plenty. That's like 420. Yeah, probably starts
He
with a
said it,
420.
420.
That's how much money. I mean, the whole thing could be paid
30
for.
bucks.
$30
Everybody
for
is
every
30 bucks,
patient in
yeah.
the state. Well, guess what? 25% of consumers in the state will be future consumers, I should say. 25% of the population will be future consumers. That's 1.5 million people.
Yeah.
A lot of
Give
people.
me $3 a piece. Everybody who
Right.
currently smokes or would like to smoke in the adult use market, give me $3 a piece. How much money are we talking now? Quick math.
right.
$4.5 million. Swimming in it.
Yeah.
We're good. It's paid for, right? It can be done just with the people who will directly benefit from this, right? And it is a consumer, it is a patient bill, for sure. Super patient-centric. I mean, can you imagine all the folks from Illinois coming over here to get their stuff? Right? Because we're selling it for $150 an ounce. Yeah, come on over. Even Oklahoma people are like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
That's close. It's close.
Oklahoma?
But guess what? They don't have adult use. I'm just saying.
That's true. They
I'm
don't
just
have adult
saying.
use.
You know,
They're all
a
medical.
lot of tourism. Lake of the Ozarks will be like, thank you so much.
That's good.
Hospitality rooms all around the lake. Bon Terre, Mark Twain. I mean,
Lake of
it
the
only makes
Amsterdam.
sense. I mean, it's huge. It's going to employ a lot of people.
Amsterdam.
Akala says, what can and will make this happen? Sounds like you got a lot of people that like what they hear you saying. We're going to have
Step one.
the other guys on next week, but you know.
Step one, fairaccessmo.com.
Yeah, bring that website up for us, Dave.
Go to the bottom, hit donate. Top right, bottom. I think it's at the bottom of every page. You can't miss it. Donate. $5 at least. 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 if you can. Okay, like that sends us a signal and tells us what the interest level. Step two is sign up on the website. There's a place to sign up for our emails. We're going to start recruiting through those emails people to be signature gatherers. There's sign up forms on there for that sort of thing. We're going to need that coming next if we get the signal. Okay, if we don't get the signal, we got to call it at some point, guys. I mean, we really do. We can't ask people to go gather signatures when we don't have money to verify the signatures. I mean, it's just not fair to all the people who would be spending all that time, right? So we're at a decision point as a community. And if this works for the community, nothing's perfect, okay? We gave it our college best. But if this is good for the community, and I believe it is, Missourians, consumers, generally speaking, everybody, let's get it done. And grassroots, baby. I mean, let's crowdsource it. Let's show the nation what can be done. It's the most progressive state bill that's going to be out there once it passes. Tops Oklahoma because we're going to have regulation in place first, not last. Before we give out the licenses. And number two, we've got adult use, and they're not going to have it yet. I mean, they're thinking about it, but their adult use bills have been dialed back versions of their medical programs. So they can swing the other way. I mean, if you like it, come on, send us a signal. Send us a Lincoln, at least. Come on.
I think we had one more viewer question.
That's awesome. Ron Kate. Hey, yo, payment successful to Fair Access. Everybody should take a minute and go do it right now.
There you go.
I love you, Ron. This is not the first time Ron has hit that button. Ron, I love you, man. I love you.
Yep.
He's my Southern Missouri hookup.
Ron?
Ron Cote.
We had one more viewer question. Will home cultivators be able to sell their extra flower to dispensaries and or manufacturers? I know you kind of touched on this a little.
So let's be very specific. Yes, possibly. Okay.
Yes, possibly.
Yes, possibly.
No gray area there.
Yes. Well, look. So here's how it works. There's a compassionate care program. You can't sell to a dispensary for them to turn around and sell your flowers off the shelf to any consumer. Can't do that. But you can sell into a compassionate care program, and then they give it away. Now, why would they ever want to buy for that program? Well, if they really are doing it for the patients, maybe they'll want to get their program started. Maybe they'll want to incentivize, those people who bring them good stuff to put in the program to give to patients. Maybe, there's all kinds of reasons why that could work.
Or maybe there's a non-for-profit that raises money to buy stuff to have it turned into concentrates or to turn into RSO. So there's all kinds of areas there.
Those are pretty technical, but yes, possibly, okay? It's not going to be backpack days. You're not going to roll in like in Michigan and Colorado. Eventually, a lot of those folks backed off that sort of thing, as much as I don't necessarily mind it. A lot of folks backed off of it because there's so much gray area in there, gray market left in there. It just feels scary to a lot of people. But certainly into the compassionate care. Like nothing of mine will ever go to waste again. Nothing. Trim, all the biomass I got, anything my patient doesn't want, because they want their queues cleared sometimes. Like, man, I want something new. They can't do that if they got their limit.
To me, what I just heard was, there's a slight possibility, but don't count on it.
Yeah, we're not making the dispensaries pay for it.
Right.
But if they wanted to, they could.
It could be something that would be worked out between a cultivator and that particular dispensary.
Give or sell to dispensaries.
Real quick, we got a wheel of dank. We've missed it. We're running past all of our stuff.
We're running past.
Let's do a wheel of dank.
I can do this all night.
I better heat this dab up.
Yeah, let's get that wheel of dank going. Get a spin. Who won this one? This is for probably fire. Paul Woods. Nice. Congratulations,
All right, Paul. You won some probably fire genetics.
Yep.
Souvenirs, of course. Everybody who won tonight, hit us up with your
Send us
address,
messages.
your mailing information. And if you're in Kansas City, we might be able to just have you meet up with us.
Yep. And again, if you want to know more about Fair Access, go to their website.
Yep.
What was the website again?
FairAccessMO.com.
There it is, fairaccessmo.com. Check it out.
Yep.
Damn.
Good time. So
it
much
is.
in there, man. So exciting. So exciting.
I feel like we could probably take up another hour and a half with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, though, dude, in all the times I've sat with you and talked and done this, not here, but, on Evolution Magazine and all that, I don't think I've ever seen you as emotionally passionate.
I'm invested.
Dude, seriously,
I'm
dude,
invested.
I've never
Thanks for calling that out.
seen you
No, that's legit. Animated.
this passionate.
Red in
or
the
yeah,
face.
I mean, you're
Really
yeah.
getting into it.
Come
That's what I was
on,
going to
come
say. It's
on.
like,
So yeah, he's so.
send the
I'm
link
appealing.
in.
I'm appealing.
And if you guys like what he said, look, man, this is just a spark plug that should fire you guys up to go to the Missouri Fair Access Missouri website and read over. Get in there and read over what he's presenting.
Yeah, read
Don't just
everything.
believe me.
Yeah, don't just believe him. Don't just go, oh, well, we saw this guy on Top Shelf with Big V and Zach.
Right.
And so we're going to, because we have not made any sort of declaration on supporting anybody.
Right.
We're going to have, is it Steve Payne or John Payne?
John Payne, I think.
John Payne next week from the other guys, so they're going to be able to talk about what they have. So, but you know what? If you like what you heard tonight, go to Fair Access. What's the website? Right there.
FairAccessMO.com.
Yep, right there. So go there and read through everything. It's not overly long, okay, and it's written in a very clear language for everyone to understand. So go check it out and see if you dig what you hear them say, and if you do, jump on board with them.
Yep. And if you have any questions, I'm on Facebook. Not often during the day, but I'm on Facebook and I'll answer questions. I've been known to. Eric Mcswain.
Yep, hit him up, man.
Blow him
Tag
up or
me.
hit him
I
up.
also monitor the Fair Access MO Facebook group. So if you find us there, hit us there. I think the show itself had linked out to our Facebook page. So
Right on.
Hit us
Right
up.
on.
Hit us up.
Awesome. And so, but anyway, thanks a lot for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We're going to hit this legalization effort hard. We want to stay focused on it all year because this is probably the most important thing that is going to happen in cannabis in Missouri ever.
And make sure we get it right.
So we need to get in there and really be passionate about this. This needs to be a religious dedication for all of us, and get in there and whatever bill you decide to back, get in there and back it, man.
I was missing a good hallelujah. Or
well, can I get a witness?
Yeah.
Go ahead and send the
So, right,
$5.
Yeah.
We're going to see you next week, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Stay lifted, everybody.
Baby, Jody.
Are you a Missouri patient looking for other options besides your local dispensary? Have you considered finding a caregiver but found the process to be confusing and hard to navigate? We understand, and that's why we created Farmers Market, Missouri's freelance marketplace for licensed caregivers to conveniently offer their services to Missouri patients. Sign up today at farmersmarket.com.
Welcome to Kansas City Cannabis, your hometown, locally owned and operated cannabis dispensary. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through your journey to wellness. Patients First is our guiding mantra, and we'll continue to bring quality, affordable medicine to the patients of Missouri. Kansas City Cannabis Company, inspiring wellness. Now open in Kearney and Blue Springs. Coming soon to Lake Lotawana and Excelsior Springs. For location, hours, and current menu, visit kccannabis.org.
Hari Om Hemp. Our mission is to promote better overall health and wellness as a whole, mind, body, and spirit. Founded by nurses with a strong belief in alternative holistic therapies, always striving to provide the highest quality and safest products possible. You can find all of our products at hariomhemp.com. All Hari Om Hemp products are tested at a third-party facility.
Hello, welcome to Besame Wellness. It's opening December 23rd off 169 Highway in Smithville. We have opened up 4 more stores in North Kansas City, off Berry Road and I-29, Liberty, Gallatin, and coming soon, Warrensburg. We are your favorite local medical marijuana dispensary, here to educate, help, and engage our local community. We have everything you're looking for, from high-quality flower to edibles, tinctures, and beverages. And if we don't have it, odds are we are getting it very soon. So please, come see our beautiful dispensaries and let our informative, educated staff take care of you. And welcome to the Besame family.